Hello. Welcome, everyone. It is Wednesday. It is time for Live with Naana, and I am so excited for my guest today. Listen, if you are here joining us live, pop in the chat, say a hello, let us know where you're tuning in from. And in full transparency, Nogie and I are doing a pre-recorded session because when I introduce her, you will understand that this woman is busy, okay? And to have her here with us is going to be awesome, and I'm so excited for the conversation that we're about to have. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about this fabulous woman, okay? Nogie Udevbulu is the CEO of NUU Coaching, which is a life coaching program for women professionals. And it's all about empowering confidence through faith and strategically positioning for you for career success. Now, that's not all. Nogie is also the global head of derivatives and digital asset portfolio management at BlackRock. Okay, she's an award-winning investment professional, business executive, transformational leader. She's got over 20 years in the game in financial markets. Listen, she is a G, and she's also a client of mine and a great friend. And we're just gonna give a big round of applause to Miss Nogie. Hello.
You're too kind.
Not at all. We just like to tell the truth, okay? I'm so excited to have this conversation with you because I think right now there's so much conversation about what it's like to be successful in the workplace, right? And how you can really feel like showing up authentically, feeling powerful in your roles, especially in a lot of corporate, just workplaces. And especially when it comes to some industries that are really traditional, conservative, such as finance. Right. And so in conversations with women about feeling confident in those roles, I'm like, so inspired by what you do, not only day to day, but also through the business that you've built. Tell us more about your path to even getting into this space of finance and where you are in leadership too.
Wow. Okay. First of all, thank you for having me on your platform. It's truly an honor. And hello, everybody. And so my background started, I will say, when I understood what my dad did as a career. So he was a banker in Nigeria, a merchant banker to be precise. And I remember going to the office with him, and he had this huge office. And the women were secretaries, not to slight the secretaries, but man, I wanted an office too. So that started my desire to be a banker, right? So I had a goal to be a banker like my dad. And then I had some older cousins, one who was like a role model to me. She's late now, who was one of the youngest senior bankers in Nigeria at her time. So that also just like inspired me to want to go down that route. And so coming to the States at the age of 16 and going to college in New York, I'm hardcore New Yorker, as you see me. I was always very quick to tell everybody that I wanted to be a banker. So what do you want to be? I want to be a banker. What is Wall Street? I'm like, what is Wall Street? What is that? And so I just knew I wanted to be a banker, and I was open to learning as much as I could about the space and just breaking into the industry. And I started out, my first internship was really working for a broker, a stockbroker at Payne Weber. That company doesn't even exist anymore. Okay. It was Payne Weber, and my job was to stuff cold calling like envelopes to reach out to many people. And I'll sit there and just hear this broker like cold call clients, a lot of hang-ups. So that was my first like exposure to the like, is this what it's all about? So stuffing envelopes, and then that was Payne Weber over like a school semester. And then I got an internship in technology at Deutsche Bank.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I got in, right? Well, I was a finance major. I was not a tech major, but apparently I impressed the interviewers so well. They took a shot
Mm,
on me on
mm,
taking me into their program. And so while I was in the tech division, I spent time building out a help file for an application that they built, which is great, but I knew tech was not for me.
okay.
So
Okay.
but what it did was it opened doors, and I ended up having interviews for full-time positions upon my senior year in college, and that's how I got into Lehman Brothers in their operations program.
Mm,
And 6 weeks into the job, the Twin Towers came down. I was at the World Financial Center. So again,
wow.
very interesting, like dynamic. It made me even love Wall Street more. The business continuation plan was real, like actively trying to set things up because of the destruction that happened at ground zero back then, and really understanding the derivative space because I started out in middle office supporting the sales and trading desk at Lehman.
Wow.
And 3 years later, went to business school, at University of Virginia, the Darden School. Woo-hoo. And and then came back to Wall Street. Like I didn't have enough already. Came back to Wall Street, joined Merrill, and I
Mm.
was on the sales and trading desk, like running arbitrage strategies. And then the financial crisis happened. That was another one. So it's been a fun ride. The amazing thing, though, is through
Mhm.
all these events, I've been able to navigate, and a lot has to do with just trusting God through the whole process, learning, keeping an open mind, staying connected with people,
Mhm.
um, like learning about what's out there
Yeah.
and raising my hand when the opportunity shows up, demonstrating excellence for every new opportunity that I'm given. I spent 15 years at Merrill, Bank of America, which an
Yeah.
absolutely amazing experience for me. Made a lot of friends, learned a lot, grew up there
Mm.
before then moving to BlackRock, right? So it has been an amazing journey. But the consistent thing is just keeping an open mind, staying hungry to learn, and knowing when to raise your hand for opportunities. And that has been my guiding path,
Mm.
all with the foundation of faith. That's pretty much
Mm.
it.
Pretty much it. I love the origin of just even the image of your father. Like as you were talking about it, I was like seeing it, and him having this big office and you looking
Yeah.
around at the other women like, well, where are their offices? Well, I want an office too. And that like lit the fire for you to just be so clear about the path that you wanted to be on. And even when all the things were happening all outside of your control around what is happening in the market, much like life, right? Still holding on to your faith and your belief of like, this is going to be the path that I want to pursue. um I'm so curious even deeper into that. Like how did you get so grounded in that kind of value and that being so attached to your identity and still keeping that while you were in these very straightforward and rigid environments? This is about numbers. Like, are we printing the profits? Are we hitting the targets? Business can be very cutthroat, right? And especially just navigating that as a woman, how did you remain true and know like these are my core values that I'm unwavering on?
That's a very, very good question, right? And I will say the first thing is surround yourself with good people. I met some of the best people, best faith people when I was in business school.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much they took me under their wing as their little sister, and they prayed for me and,
Mm-hmm.
really taught me a lot about scripture and the Bible.
Wow.
And the
These are
more
work
you,
colleagues.
well, they were business school colleagues,
Business
right?
school. That's amazing. Wow.
Yes, right. So that's exactly it. You'll be amazed where you find joy. Keep an open mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're still very much close today. They went on, even as one of them was working on Wall Street, went on to start a church and then started his own business while still managing and leading people in church, right? So one thing I learned as you start to dig into the word of God, the Bible, and as you start to learn about God, he's a God of results, which aligns with the principles of business. He's an investor, and he expects to reap a return, right? So
Wow.
it's and he's all about work. Let's not forget, like, he was working 6 days and rested on the seventh.
Yeah.
So God is all about productivity, right? And then you balance it out a little bit of fun. But we're created to work. So when you start to learn about who God is, these things that are expected, the values, the work, the deliveries, the results, they align with what God expects of you as his child. So that kept me very grounded. You want to know about business principles? Just go read the book of Proverbs. Business principles all over, right? No excuse, right? So you can't even get mad when you have a target and you have to deliver, because it's right there in the Bible.
Wow.
So it almost like supports, like, okay, right, let's do the needful. And then the amazing thing is, when we were never created to function in isolation. We were created to work with people. You learn to ask for help. You learn to know your portfolio of wealth. And your portfolio of wealth is, who are the people that are good at things that you're not good at, that you need to be friends with, so that together you deliver magic, right? That's how you get the results, So it's first is the awareness of self, and you become aware of yourself the closer you get into the word of God. And then the awareness of others around you. When you see people with the gifts that they bring, they will always want to work with you. Right? So you see them for their gift. They are happy to work with you because you're not threatened by their gift. You actually are encouraging the gift. And everybody brings something unique to the room. We all bring something amazing. Are you patient enough to see that amazing thing, so that when you bring your amazing with that amazing, you can create something bigger and better than if you were working alone? That's the question. And that's a question that we have to ask ourselves every day as we show up to work every day. And this is how God created us. Like, our DNAs are unique. We're all unique. We're bringing something unique to the room, right? And so it's that awareness of yourself by getting closer to the word, and awareness of others, and understanding God's plan all through that journey.
I'm just thinking. I'm thinking so many things. One, I'm thinking about my entrepreneur friends that might be watching this, and I'm like, I'm gonna break out my Bible, because sometimes we talk about, I have a good friend. Shout out to my good friend Janine Esbrand, if she's watching this. But we would talk about how, like, God is our business partner. Right. And we'd be like, I need to go talk to my business partner. And sometimes we are like talking, sometimes we think about other external people. But when you really are like, have to make a hard decision, or what should I do about this, etc. And you're like, okay, God, I'm so stressed out and talk to a million people, and I don't know what to do, but like, my bad, you're actually my business partner. I'm gonna take a back seat and go sit down, and I'm gonna just ask for your help, and I'm gonna wait until you give me a push, a sign, inclination about what to do, So I love that, and I love and respect how deeply rooted the value that you have in your faith, and how that just like permeates through the way that you move. And I think has been an amazing asset for you to grow in your career, and something that people might be like, well, I don't know, how does that play a factor, etc. But That's something that's special and unique about you that moves with you, right? That moves with you. And it doesn't matter what space that you're in. So even thinking about faith, let's talk about NUU coaching. Because I was so honored when you invited me to speak at your conference in the fall, because the conference was popping. I mean, if you were at Nogie's conference was that September, October? Was that
October?
If you were in the room, you had to drop some fire emojis, because the energy, people were like, it's over? Like, is it day 2? Like, are we coming back? I mean, and that was your inaugural one. So for folks who aren't familiar with NUU coaching, and even maybe giving us a little snapshot about what the event was about, and what pushed you to even start coaching in this space.
Okay, so I enjoy telling this story, right? So NUU coaching came about when I experienced coaching myself. And to make that decision to get coached, especially when you're not in the sports or entertainment arena, you may see coaching as something that you don't need. And so when you then experience it for yourself and you realize, wow, coaching is to make me better, my default is to learn it and go help other people be better, right? Being better is not limited to your, top sports people or your entertainers or musicians. Being better applies to everyone, right? There's always a jewel in you that a little bit of direction makes it shine. And so that was what coaching did for me. My experience was, wow, 4 months of coaching and I saw transformation. I was like, okay, I got to go learn this stuff so I can see more people, particularly women in the corporate spaces or professional spaces, experience that like little shining, little shifts here and there, and just see them propel with results. So that's how I started NUU coaching. I got coached. I still have my coach. Shout out to Zach. I still have my coach. And I went for coach training. Call me crazy. I was doing this the same year I started at BlackRock. I don't know what I was thinking. Wow. But you know what? But that training was also helping me be better at my job at the same time. So I'm super grateful that I was willing to step out of my comfort zone and do that, right? So went through the coach training. It was 12 months, got certified as an ontological coach, and then
Okay.
So it's really all about your being. Are you showing up with your essence, like who you were called to be, or are you showing up as a survivor who life has taught you to be? Very, very different. Yes. A lot of people.
Ontological coach. What was the name of it again?
Ontological coaching. It's a coaching from a place of being. Yeah.
Wow. That's what I love. Okay. Yes.
So just having gone through that training, the next step was, okay, let's do a women's conference, because that just felt like natural. So NUU's women's conference for the first 3 years was all online. It was virtual. And then I wanted to bet on myself last year. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do an in-person conference. Let's do it. Not knowing how it was going to happen. I almost freaked out and almost wanted to bail. But I had some very strong supporters that were like, we're with you. I didn't even expect that the room will be packed, but the room was packed. And people who said they would leave early stayed till the end. That was a funny part. That was a funny part. And then we had wonderful speakers like yourself. I think it only goes to show that there is room to be better. And then there's a hunger for women in corporate spaces, in professional spaces, to get that camaraderie and community, so they could do the deep work that is necessary to see that better transformation, right?
Yeah.
NUU is all about strategically positioning yourself for success. And how do we do that? By making us better, right? We are what we attract. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are better, you attract better. If you're worse, you attract worse. But if you're better, you attract better. And then what makes it beautiful is when you're doing that better work together as a community,
Yeah.
right? It forces you to sit down and do the work for a couple of hours and then go reap the benefits later. And then you have a community of people that you can reach out to, you can text, you can talk to, you can, like you can go back to your notes, you can watch the recording. Like these are the things that on a normal day, if we were to do it by ourselves, we'll forget. But then if we do it as a community with the goal to come back and say, hey, I took some of these things and I applied it, and here are the results, because we're all about results, right? Here are the results. Here's what I got. Here's what transformed in my life. That little shift. If the GOAT of tennis, Serena,
Right.
is willing to spend a lot of money to get coached so she can be a GOAT, then what's stopping you from investing in yourself to get where you want to go? You know what I mean? So it's an honor to show up for women in that manner. It's an honor to learn something, turn around and teach others and see results. I honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
And my hope is that they also learn, they turn around and teach someone. It's like just pass on the torch, right? Like pass on that light and just keep lighting others to be better. Like everybody gains when we are better, right? So that's the motivation.
Yes. I love this so much. Like I hope y'all are catching some of the themes, at least some of the things that Nogie's saying, that I'm like, okay, like the reminder of community and people, especially in those moments when you think you're the only one going through something, nobody else gets it, you're talking to yourself in the mirror, like all the things, and you're wrestling with, when there's so much power in reaching out, like continuously surrounding yourself with people who are going to uplift you. And then this whole element you're just talking about right now with continually learning, continuous improvement, continuous growth. I mean, like, I feel like sometimes when we look at really influential or inspirational women in leadership, right? Because I know there are plenty of young women who have encountered you in multiple fields, in the multiple roles you've had, and are just like in awe, right? Because they see you, girl, listen, I know it. I know without a doubt. They see you, they see themselves, right? They see a light, right? There are other elements, they can connect with you. They're like, oh my gosh, look, she is me. I see her in me. Like, wow, she's giving me an example of what I can be. And that alone, I think is groundbreaking, especially in the corporate space where it can feel so much like you either get it or you don't. Like, oh, did you get the role? Oh, you didn't get it. There's only one for this person, and to see, and I think hear you talk about this in such a way of acknowledging, like being open and being so grounded in your values, I think is a beautiful thing. So yeah, listen. I just be taking notes, y'all. Like I'm so serious. Like I think when you get in a space and you are surrounded by amazing women, I'm really fortunate. I have had some phenomenal clients, and they inspire me, and I'm like, yes.
You inspired me, Nana. You hooked me up with colors. Like I'll tell you guys, I'll be honest, okay? So talk about coaching, talk about getting better. Yes, I'm all about that. But when it came to like fashion, typical New York, I was black, gray, and blue until I met Nana. And Nana brought out the colors of my life. I am not kidding. I never thought I would wear well, not burgundy probably, but green,
Mm.
red. I am popping those colors, and it's given. Okay, for the Gen Zers, it's
Yeah, right.
given. It's given. So many thanks to you. You're an inspiration. The way you wear your colors, bold, but yet you know your stuff. It's
Mhm.
great, and I hope folks get to experience their style while still being authentically themselves, right? And
Mhm.
I noticed even with wearing those colors, it didn't change who I was. If
Mhm.
anything, it pronounced who I was
Mm.
without me having to do anything else other than just wear the outfit. Like just wear it. And I'm very conservative. So I just, instead of wearing a black suit, I wear a green suit. It's still conservative, y'all. But at the same time, it just it makes it beautiful. So when I have to speak on behalf of BlackRock, I love to wear my green jacket, and
Mm.
it speaks growth, it speaks financial well-being. So I'm very, very grateful for the times that we spent together. I'm going to be calling you very soon. We have many things going on. But
Yeah.
it's just knowing the power of coaching. See, I got a stylist to coach me on how to show up more authentically as myself, even in color. And
Mm.
best investment ever. I didn't mean to plug, but I had to plug. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
listen. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you. Like, but that's what I'm talking about. Like you talked about building these kinds of relationships. It didn't just stop there, right? It's like,
Nope.
oh hey, I got this conference and event. You were like, what's up with public speaking? I'm like, this is the public speaking coach I use. Here you go, girl. Like, she was amazing. Shout out to Rhonda Khan. Like,
Yep.
like when you're surrounded by women, like you said, who want to be better, you just are leaning into that. And I think that's like, that's a nugget from what you're sharing. Like, that's at the core of you owning your power. So we shout you out. Listen, this conversation, I know I'm keeping, you got stuff, you got kids in the background. They probably like, Mom, what are you doing? Like, let me allow you to leave us with the final word of just, there, like I said, there's plenty of women watching this, and they could be literally right now sitting in their cubicle with the headphones in, listening like, yes, yes, I do see more for myself, right? I do want more, and I want to grow and excel and be better. What would you recommend is one or two things that they could do to begin to lean more into their power that way?
Ooh, that's a very good question, because it actually aligns with the theme that we had at the conference last year,
Mm.
which was Inside Out. So this is a message to all women, all, including the ones that look like me. Um, there is power inside of you. Don't let anyone take that away from you. And growth starts from within. When you focus on growing from within, then your motivation is boundless. All of a sudden, you're not relying on external factors to motivate you. You're relying on the internal factor, which is the fountain of life, where your you would never run thirsty, right? You will
Mhm.
always have water to drink. You will always be
Hmm.
filled, but it starts from within you. Do you believe that there is so much jewel in you? And are you willing to put in the work to uncover those jewels? It could be a lifetime. And then once you start that journey, the world becomes your oyster. The question now is, which direction do you want to go, left or right? But it starts from within. So that's my message to you.
Yes. Ooh, come on. You better listen. The gem is inside. You better dust it off, y'all. We need to shine. I'm so thankful again for you, Nogie, taking some time to be here with me today. And I will be, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you? Let's say that if they want to learn more about NUU coaching.
Thankfully, NUU Coaching is on LinkedIn, so you can ping me there. Okay. You can also ping me at nuucoaching@gmail.com. I will happily keep folks informed about activities. We just had like a vision board workshop 2 weeks ago. So it's called Vision Board for Busy Bees. I'm working, getting all these like content in a space where folks can just go in and watch unlimited. And there would be more activities. We're having NUU Shift Conference coming up in October again. So mark your calendars. Like I said, we like to do the deep work, but it's good doing it with people, with you. So send me an email, hit me up on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to address your questions as much as they come. But I would encourage you to attend the conferences or attend an event or watch some of my classes, and that would really answer. Or get my book on networking. Yes. So yes, I put out a book.
All the links into the chat when this goes live. The links will be in the chat, so you can definitely connect with NUU Coaching, get the book, and you most certainly need to be at the conference because I will be there in the seat in the front row. Because then I tell you, from fun, food, just the overall vibe, the people, all the things. We could be here for a whole another 20 minutes just talking about the conference, but we're not going to do that to y'all. Again, thank you so much, Nogie, and I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of the day. Peace.
Thank you.